Good morning, children. So, today we are going to start our new chapter of history, that is Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. Okay, now let's start with the kind of fundamental about this idea. Why it started, what were the major aspects that took place, and then we will have a comparative understanding between French Revolution and the socialism or the communism in Russia. Clear? Now let's first talk about what we have read in the last chapter in French Revolution. So in French Revolution, the major family was the Bourbon family. Similar to that, in Russia, we had another family. That was the Romanovs. Now, these Romanovs basically had the Tsar, and the Tsar Nicholas was one of the major leader and major autocrats or monarch during that time. Now, there were two main developments that took place in the Russian Revolution. One was the event of the 1905, which was also known as Bloody Revolution. Next was the 1917 event, and 1917 witnessed two events. The first one was the February Revolution, the other one was the October Revolution. And must keep in mind, in Russian Revolution, basically you had the February Revolution and October Revolution. However, in French Revolution, we had the July Revolution. I hope you have remember. So this July Revolution was against the Bourbon family monarch who was Charles Stein, and this was against the Tsar Nicholas and his family, right? And his wife Tsarina Alexandria, and this Alexandria and her ancestor was from German, so a kind of lot of indie German sentiment was there in Russia. Clear? So, before we start this chapter, you must know the two terms, that is what is capitalism and socialism. Okay. Now, what do you mean by capitalism? Capitalism is a social and economic system based on private ownership of the means of the production, that is farmland or the factory, and free market system of trade. Their operation is for profit. That means the farmland or the factory which has been established, their means mode of thinking is to make profit. Clear? Now socialism, it means population collectively owns and control the means of production. Clear? And when the population collectively owns and control the means of production, then the distribution of the result, that is a profit, is proportional, that is equal distribution is being done. Clear? Now let's begin our first topic of discussion with liberal, radical and conservatives. Okay, so let's first understand who were liberal. That is, liberal, they wanted a nation which support all religion and wanted a change in the society. They opposed the uncontrolled power of dynastic, that is monarchical rule. They wanted the representative to be elected parliamentary government, and the law should be interpreted by well-trained judiciary. Clear? That was independent of ruler and official. But they do not believe in universal adult franchise, that is right of every citizen to cast vote. They want right of vote should be given to those men who possess property, but they does not want right to vote for women. Clear? Now next we will understand what do you mean by radical. That is, they wanted a government based on the majority population, and they used to oppose the privileges of landowner and factory owner, but were not against the existence of the private property, but the right to vote given to the property holder, they were against it. That is, only to cast vote to the rich man who possess the poverty, they were opposing that one. Clear? Next is our conservatives. Now, they were narrow minded and their thinking was based on old traditional thought. So, they opposed to radical and liberal. In simple terms, we can say that they do not want any changes. As the old tradition is going on, let it go. They used to believe that. Clear? Old custom, whatever is going on, let it follow that one. They used to believe in this. No need to implement any new thing. So they opposed to bring changes in the society. But in 19th century, what we can see is that they accepted that some changes was necessary. But they believed that the past had to be respected and change would be done very slowly. That is, slow process of change should be done. That was the belief which has come, we could see, after 19th century. Clear? So next topic is our industrial society and social change. Now, industrial revolution that took place had led to changes in the social and economic life. As industrial revolution took place, it had led to establish many factories, and the manufacturing industries has tremendous growth, right? And as many new cities has grown and the new industry has also grown very fast, so due to industrialization, what we can see is that men and women and children all started to work in factories, and at that time working hours was long, as they need to work 14 to 15 hours and wage was very low. And when the demand of industry good was low, that is, the demand was not too much, we could see that unemployment has arose at that time. Clear? Now the liberal and radical, they had made wealth. How they make wealth? Through trade and through industrial ventures. Clear? Now, according to them, that is liberal and radical, society can be developed if freedom is been given to the individual and the poor could do labor. And if freedom is been given to the individual, then one who had capital could start his business. And if freedom is been given, then they could do their business without restriction and could flourish their business, could do more profit, right? So in France, Italy, Germany and Russia, many revolutions took place which lead to overthrow the existing monarch. Now the nationalists, that is liberal and radical, on their point of view, they think that nation should be built only in that way where everyone should have equal right, no discrimination should be done. If no discrimination is done based on the caste, creed, sex, religious, then a strong nation could be built. That was the point of view of liberal and radical. Clear? Now, next is our the coming of socialism in Europe, which we will discuss in our next class. Okay, thank you.